Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. This is a bonus episode. Dear. I'm trying to do air horns. It's hard to do sound effects and special effects with my throat. I'm your host, Ty Christensen. I'm joined by Jordan Christensen.
It's a magical day.
And we've got Cameron Mickle.
I can't believe you committed suicide.
How could you have done this?
You committed
I
suicide.
cannot believe.
How could you have done this?
I'm currently hacking into the CIA and all national corporations. What the?
Wait. I love when he's just like...
Yeah, those are real clicks, by the way. That's real keyboard strokes.
Guys, today we're reviewing a very special film.
Bad movie night.
Bad movie night. This is called Fateful Findings.
This is rubbish.
What about this movie? There's everything to do with Neil Breen. This is like our new Tommy Wiseau right now.
He's worse than Tommy Wiseau. He's way worse than Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, he's way worse. Tommy Wiseau has like passion. This guy has no passion. No heart.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The way he delivers those lines? Mwah.
He's as soulless as all those computers that are turned off in his house. It's like the 8 laptops that he owns. 8 laptop computers.
I'm
Which
not
all
writing
feature
a book.
in the poster, by the way. Notice like how all of his laptops are literally featured in the poster. Oh, okay. Anyway, so this was directed by movie came out
copied
in
and pasted
2013.
3 of them.
Yeah, they're all the same reused, recycled laptops. Fateful Findings came out in 2013, directed by Neil Breen, writer Neil Breen, stars Neil Breen. How many times can we go for Neil Breen? Clara Landrat. What a sad last name. I'm sorry, Clara. Jennifer Autry and Victoria Viveros.
That's what she gets for being in this fetching movie.
David Silva. John Henry Hoffman, Gloria Hoffman, and many others. Probably family. I'm guessing those Hoffmans are related.
Yeah, it must be
Just
neighbors
ask
or
his
something.
Neighbors, all of his neighbors around him in Hollywood.
How could they look at him the same after making this movie, though? Like, especially that daughter. I'm so hungry. Talk about make me feel uncomfortable. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, what the fudge? This is the only movie okay, sorry, continue.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's do a quick plot synopsis. Jordan, do you have one?
Oh, I don't even know what I honestly.
I've got it. You have it too, Cameron. Do you want to read it? Why don't you read it, Cameron?
Sure. A computer scientist novelist reunites with his childhood friend, hacks into government databases, and faces the dire and fateful consequences of the mystical actions he obtained as a child. Well, about 30% of that makes sense.
Seen this movie? Still doesn't make sense.
No, I love
sense.
one of the quotes on the movie poster. It says, dangerously controversial.
Love it, dude.
I don't even know what to say about this movie. It's beautiful. Dude.
Let's go around. Let's say what was it like watching it the first time and what was it like rewatching it for this podcast. Jordan, you start us off.
Okay, so the first time I watched this movie, once again, I don't know why, but the guy I worked with at the marketing department, we watched a lot of bad movies that are so bad they're good. And we went and watched The Room first, then we watched this one. And we don't drink alcohol, but we did do drinking games just to see how many times we could catch like green screen, anything like that is just absolutely horrible, which we just ended up drinking an insane amount of, I don't even remember what we're drinking. We bought all these really nasty drinks from the gas station. And anyways, this movie is, I mean, I don't even know how you accomplish this. It's amazing. Like everything he does is, I don't know if he just goes about it the most unconventional ways, but it reminds me so much of the videos we used to make growing up, like just the cuts. He leaves all this space in between. Like instead of taking the video and cut it, when somebody talks to you, for example, what you'll do in a video is have
clearly
audio.
he never knew about iMovie.
Yeah, I mean, you let audio like overlap in other clips, so somebody's still talking and they can flip the camera to somebody else. But instead, he lets it play out, and then there's that pause, like after they finish their line, and then the next scene shows the next person, and there's another pause. Then the person talks, and it's those pauses that make you feel so uncomfortable because there's no music. There's sometimes white noise. Sometimes he cuts out the white noise, so you hear nothing. So it's just like completely dropped off. Sometimes I'm like, oh shoot, did my movie pause? And no, it didn't pause. He just dropped that audio all the way to zero.
I thought there was a couple times I thought my laptop was glitching because I would hear typing and then no one was typing and pitching wasn't glitching. Just the movie, dude. What the fudge?
Well, he probably had to dub so many things because he didn't get. I mean, there's so many crazy things. I don't know if I watched the whole movie earlier, but this was my first time watching all the way through. This movie is just so dumb. I mean, it's like there are some movies that are so bad that it's good because they're so earnestly trying. But I don't know what
this is
Neil
not
Breen's
one of them.
deal is. Yeah, I like everyone else in this film, but Neil Breen himself, this guy is like a full-blown narcissist. Like, he thinks he's got a gift to everyone. Like, he's like the answer to everything in every one of his films.
Remember, but it's not his fault. He's a good person, Ty. He's a very good person.
He's a great person.
No way in a million years would any girl of the caliber that he was going for in the movies ever go after some like him, dude.
Like, everybody loves him. Even that young girl. That was...
Yeah, what?
Well, he's like 32 years older than what's-her-face. He's so old. Yuck. Yeah. No thanks. So watching this movie again, anyway, it just gets dumber. My IQ has literally dropped after watching this film. So that's what it's like.
What are you talking about, Ty? He's so genius. He's above everyone else's intellect.
Should
I be afraid?
I'm going to discover all the corruption, national and international, that's going on, that I know is going on. Oh my gosh. Okay, Cameron, how about you?
Well, Jordan, did you finish yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going around.
Well, I've only watched it once, and it will be the last time I ever watch this movie.
My favorite, really quick, is the favorite thing you said to me, Cameron, was you were listening to it in the car without headphones, and Ty was listening to it, and Ty's like, put in your headphones. I can't listen to anymore.
I couldn't listen to it anymore.
I told Jake, I asked him if he wanted to watch with me. We literally had nothing to do in the car, and he's like, "No, I'm good." He literally chose to sit in like boredom and silence, then watch this movie. And then Grant's interest got piqued by just watching. I'm trying to remember what scene he was watching, where he was just looking at it with no audio, and I was watching it, and he was like, "What the fudge?" Oh yeah, it was the shower scene when he's like bleeding or whatever, when he just magically appears and he's bleeding. And Grant's like, "What the fudge are you watching?" And I'm just like, "You gotta watch this." Well, this is officially, I don't say this very often, this is actually probably the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really? Better? It beats Trolls in The Room, huh?
It beats Trolls and The Room, which is very impressive.
Oh yeah, definitely does.
And because I'm also a very I take pride in being a very persistent and enduring viewer. I'm pretty loyal and like I'll sit through almost anything. But this movie, I could not sit through the last 20 minutes. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I've had enough. And so
please tell me you saw the suicides, Cameron. Did you see the mass suicides?
Yeah. Wait,
okay,
what?
Good.
The mass
There was
suicides?
Yeah, all the government officials that he came out and told the world that they were all corrupt, everyone starts killing themselves and starts shooting themselves. It's amazing, Cameron. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I started as soon as the what's his name dude killed himself. You pretty much lost me, and I started skipping forward. I saw him do like press conference or whatever, and I was like, what the fudge? Talk about the worst green screen of all time, man. I could have made a better one with the iMovie background. Freaking kidding me? The photo booth is better. But yeah, the first experience just watching it, I watched it in the car, and it was the worst movie I've ever seen, and I couldn't finish it, which is very rare because I almost finished every single movie I start.
I love it, Cameron. Yeah, why would you sit through any more of this film? It's just like, call it quits, man.
Maybe to
Time
watch
out,
the
clock
greatest
up.
ending of all time.
So one thing. So let's go around and say two of our favorite things. If there's anything redeemable, Jordan, why don't you start us off, Jordan?
Oh man, you guys were bashing Neil Breen. I might say he was my favorite part of this.
Oh
I
my
just,
gosh.
Oh my
I
I
God.
cannot believe you find Neil Breen entertaining.
I-
I cannot believe you find Neil Breen entertaining. How could you say that?
How could you
do
not
find Neil Breen entertaining?
Exactly. Like, how could you not enjoy
This is
it?
the most deadpan delivery I've ever heard.
Exactly. That it takes all like the most the scene where you're supposed to be feeling emotion. It takes all the emotion out of it. It's just like a vacuum, and it makes it that much more.
It's just a black hole.
It makes it that much more fun because like at a scene where his best friend just killed himself, at a scene where his wife kills himself, like no
Wait,
emotion.
you mean wife kills him, right? She murders him.
No. I'm talking about. Remember then his pill popping girlfriend or wife or whatever she is.
I thought you were referring to the I'll shoot this car full of or the shoot this car full of holes, and he's like, no.
Well,
I thought you were
and-
talking about that friend.
and the daughter too, like coming in and then saying, "You
Dad,
killed him."
you killed him. Daddy, no, stop, Dad. And then she's like, call the police. Why don't you want her to see the body if you're just gonna call the police anyway? Like, what the freak?
Yeah, I know that.
No one's gonna believe it's suicide if he's been shot at that angle.
Or
Forget it.
or
Whatever.
or I love his acting too when his girlfriend had just been his new girlfriend, because now he's got a new girlfriend, and she's missing, and his reaction like, your purse is here, and then he leans down and picks up her purse, and he's like, and my favorite part is the cuts to show that she knocks that little thing that. For some reason, he has a card in his pocket that tells him exactly where he lives. So he like, when she's, struggling, and she knocks the card out of his shirt, and then he finds that card, like, and then he teleports through the door. And then my favorite part is he tells her, no, I need you to put the blindfold back on and put the gag back in. Like, why did he tell her to do that? To go teleport through that door again? Like, I don't know.
Maybe he's got the same power as Mystery Men. What's his face?
No,
He's
you-
like, I can only turn invisible when no one is looking.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like, if
yes.
you can turn invisible
yes.
when no one's looking,
That's
how
a
do you
better
know
com-
you're invisible? Well, when you're invisible, you just know.
That's a better comparison. I was gonna say Faults, but I kind of just spoiled the whole movie of Faults if I said that. So sorry.
Oh, freak yeah. Love Faults. Everybody watch Faults. That's
Yes.
the best, what do you call it? Cult movie of all time? Yeah, it's the best.
Well, let's do a double feature with the art of self-defense.
That's the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched those in the same year, and I was like, holy cow, get this guy some more work. Okay. So, real quick, my favorite thing. Where's that your two favorite, Jordan? Did I get-
Well, just this movie is amazing.
Yeah. I would say, two are like the unintentional funny goofs. Like, it's like you're acting so horrendously, but it's like, you know where the cuts are, so it's like, start acting now. So like they're deadpan, like they're just sitting there, and then they start acting. So like you actually watch actors before they say cut or action, and so you just see them standing.
This is the
there and they're
closest
like,
thing we have ever gotten to a documentary about filmmaking ever.
Yeah. Or even like actually watching behind the scenes meets like, well, this is how one would act. Like it's almost like a training video, like the worst training video of all time. Like this is what acting is. It's not good. It's just telling you textbook what the thing to do is, right? Like stand here, say.
What are you
your
talking
line.
about, Ty? When he's holding that glass of coffee or whatever, and he's about to spill it, that was the best acting I've ever seen in my
Dude,
life.
That was so painful when he's like trembling. He's like, it's like he's gonna drop it, and then he doesn't drop it. And then he like falls down. And you're like, he didn't drop the cup. And then he wakes up and pours it on his face. It's like so
No,
stupid.
or how about when his friend dies and then he like takes that blood and then wipes it on his face, like so.
Yeah. What? It reminded me of Hunt for the Wilder People when it does like the quick cut after she stabs the boar, and there's like she tries to wipe it off her face like that, and it just smears it. Except this was like the worst thing ever. He's like, and I'm like,
He's
what? Why? He's a vampire.
Well, I feel like at moments, like you said, Ty, the camera's still rolling, and instead of showing him like trying to smear and wipe off the blood, instead it shows him pick up the blood and then wipe it onto his face. Like, why? Why do that?
So there was a really funny thing.
I'm
at the
literally
end of the
crying right now.
credits-
I just remembered the car accident scene. That is my favorite scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
Cameron, how about all that stock footage of just people walking? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. People
So
walking
much
everywhere.
On a
stock footage.
crosswalk, and then it cuts to him not on a crosswalk. And then the car hitting him, and so much information has never flooded my brain at one time without any explanation. There was just cuts of like this random like stripper sort of. It's just like showing like her legs or whatever. It's showing random people. Is he alright? Is he dead? And then him just like his hand just like touching the pavement, just like smearing the blood on the pavement. I was like, what the fudge is happening, man?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was so funny at the end of the movie. My second favorite thing is at the end of the credits, it says that it's like all of the listed companies that have credits with N or B, like Neil Breen, are fictitious. They don't actually exist. So all the work was done by Neil Breen himself. Like he didn't do any, he had no extra help. This was all Neil Breen. He did the casting, the set design, the wardrobe, the props, the lighting, locations, craft services, administrative and accounting. This guy put his whole life's work into this film, and holy cow, does he need to find a new calling in life.
No, keep making them, dude. He's got 4 or maybe 5 films now.
There's nothing you can point to in this film that works well. There's nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing
That's why it's
works.
a masterpiece. It's just
Like The Room, there's like laughable things, but like Tommy Wiseau is unaware of how alien he is to people and off-putting he is to people, like, because he's genuine. Neil Breen, I don't know if he's actually a psychopath. Like, he's not even a sociopath, because sociopaths look normal on the surface. Neil Breen, he's like on a whole new level. He's like, I'm acting normal. I'm acting normal right now. This is how I act normal. This is how normal people act. It's like, no, it's not. You sound so terrifying. I bet if I ripped off your face right now, it'd just be a bunch of ones and zeros. Freaking program, dude. He's a glitch in the Matrix. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, Cameron, how about you? 2 of your favorite things, if you can manage it.
Well, definitely my favorite thing is that car accident scene. I have so much information, like I said, has never flooded my brain with zero explanation. And like, why is he still reaching for that phone? And then talk about the dumbest female of all time. She's like, "Are you okay? Talk to me. What's all going on?" And I'm just like. Also, why was he crossing at a crosswalk when there's no crosswalk and there's no crosswalk sign except for in the stock footage there is crosswalk? So many continuity errors, hurts my brain. And I think my second favorite part, dude, it definitely has to be the whole tie-in with the I'm not actually writing my book. I'm actually hacking into government agencies. That thing literally just blew my expectations out the window. I was just like, I'm like, so the whole plot is he's just like a failed artist. And then he eventually just throws in the shiz of like, I can hack into every like agency everywhere. And I'm just like, wait, what? And then he's like, yeah, see, look. And does the ghettoest keystrokes of all time, and the computer is not even turned on. Oh my gosh, yeah, dude, that was a piece of work. And also just like the random, I love how little this movie makes sense. Like it never explains the fact, like that beginning scene, how they just like are randomly off together, and then like it transports into the future, and then he looks like he's 70, and then she looks like she's 30, and I'm like, dude, you aged horribly. Like, what happened? You have like, is it like part of the curse or whatever? And he just like randomly teleports back to the fetching house in the shower.
Okay, I got so many questions. Can we dive into the questions or
Please get into nitpicks and questions.
Okay,
there's a few plot holes here.
Yeah. So when
the plot is
when he
a
says
hole.
when the husband's like, no, the wife's like, we got to get going to the plane. And he's like, don't worry, the plane is not going to leave without us. What plane does, like, how like high up? And I mean, what is his job that makes
Jordan,
the
he can
plane
hack
wait
into
for
government
him?
agencies. And yet he's an author. How the F did he learn how to hack into government agencies being an author? Like, are we also ever gonna address the fact that like his what's her name? His like girlfriend / like fiance. She's like stealing his pills and then like scooping them out of the toilet. What the fuck? If anyone is that desperate for pills, dude, you need to seek immediate attention. Oh my gosh, scooping pills out of the toilet. I was like, what?
That reminds me of Train Spotting, dude. The Ewan McGregor climbing into the toilet.
Oh, Ty, when they're around the table and his excuse for getting cured quickly from his being hit by that car is, I have great family genes.
Some family genes. Dude, okay, so we mentioned the coffee, like the trembling hand, the coffee where he faints. There's another great scene where he's on the phone. I can't remember why. He's like talking, I'm guessing to his publisher. And he's like, what? I'm very busy. What? No, I'm not going to. Yeah, well, I've given it some thought. I'm not going to sign anything with you. He's like, my previous book made you tons of money. And he's like, I made a fortune. And he like throws the books at the laptop. And he's like, I don't owe him anything. That's it. He's like, don't call here anymore. No more books. And he keeps throwing books at the laptop. and then he waits. He throws a book and then it says, no more books. It's like so stupid. Like every line of dialogue where it was like somebody wrote like a screenplay, you can literally read it. It's not organic. It's like, do this action, say these lines. Do this action, say the rest of these lines. It's so horrendous. It's like,
I love...
What person acts like this?
Love. Before she shoots her husband because he apparently wants her... because he apparently wants her too bad or something. I don't know. Because he's like, my favorite lines ever, when he's like, we never have sex. And she's like, where did this come from? And then, and then her excuse is, he's like, but we never do. And then she's like, I'm very busy, as she's just sitting there doing nothing. I just love that line. Totally. Ty, how does this, I mean, this reminds me so much of The Room. Like, they're constantly saying, I'm very busy.
I'm not in love with Mark. I'm not in love with Johnny. I'm in love with Mark.
This is the definition of
doing nothing to suggest that you love Mark.
Film. Holy fudge.
Yes. Like the doctor of the hospital.
Yeah.
That's an actual line from this movie.
Or
the doctor of the hospital.
Why does
all these where doctors come from?
Well, in like The Room too, she's like, the bank is failing. The pills help. Like, like, why is everybody working at a bank? I love it. Or the best line in the world. I know I'm going straight into lines, but he's like, it's a crutch. Get off the pills.
I'm gonna send you that clip, Jordan.
No,
Get
dude,
off the
no.
pills.
The scene that is the worst, like, editing and worst acting I've ever seen in my entire life is the moment they hold hands at the party, and they cut to them holding hands, and then about 2 seconds later, they pull apart, and I'm like, that was the worst quick cut I have ever seen in my life. Like,
isn't that exactly like The Room?
Edgar Wright is turning, dude, in his bed right now. He's like, Fateful Findings.
Well, Cameron, doesn't that remind you of The Room? The scene where they're like kissing in front of like everyone, like at the party?
Like, makes no sense. Like, literally everyone walks outside for 30 seconds and they just start like making out like with this affair. And I'm like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, the Mexican character or whatever the Hispanic guy, he's definitely my favorite character. And okay, why did she shoot her husband? I'm so confused.
Well, there's that whole and the kidnapper, right? Like, he humors him, like, where is she? And he's like, I don't know who you're talking about. Give me the key. I don't have the key. And he's like, I don't have. And he hits him on the head with a bottle. Like, it's like some sycophantic, like, fantasy where Neil Breen is this amazing guy. He can stop kidnappers in their tracks. He's an author, an accomplished writer. When you watch this movie, you're like, this guy's never written anything. Like, I mean, it's one of those weird things where some authors will project and put themselves into movies and into stories. This is like a fantasy of his. It kind of reminds me of Tommy Wiseau, where he's
totally
a successful banker. He's got all this love. Everyone just unconditionally loves him, regardless of what. But everyone wrongs him, right? Like, everyone is just misunderstands him, and it's just like, you can't have it both ways. You're either the greatest guy on earth and no one feels any pity for you, or you're a waste of space and you turn into Sam Raimi's Peter Parker, Spider-Man 2, where the world's just dumping on your head. And then you really do feel sorry for him. But see, like, this one, it's like, oh, he's got everything. But don't you feel bad for him because, like, I don't know, his friend died? Like, it's like, no. You literally do everything you want in life.
I think I felt more emotion for his friend dying than he did. What the fudge? And I don't even know his name, dude. I don't even know his name.
I don't even know his name
I was
either.
like, oh, dude, that sucks. He died. And then he's like, why did you commit suicide?
Well, why? Okay, last thing I'm going to say, the nitpicks, and like I know we can go into quotes and everything, but that annoying shot with everyone at the party, why was it showing like everyone's head was completely cut off? Like
the amount of like feet
all the hot dogs fall. Yeah, the angles they chose, it just made me feel sick.
Maybe he's a foot fetish or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
No, it was like everyone's head was literally cut off.
Oh,
like,
good
the frame
point.
was literally shoulders down, and the guy like fumbles with all the hot dogs at the grill at the party. that part just annoys me so much. I'm like, this is so bad. Like,
it's just bad
maybe
framing.
They didn't have the actors, and they had to have stand-ins. It was just so uncomfortable to watch. Like,
so a couple things too that I'm like, how on earth? Like other nitpicks is like when he's holding after his girlfriend or wife or whatever she is kills herself from all the pills,
whatever she is to him,
and then she's after she dies, he says, "It's because of you." Like, what is that? What does that mean? I didn't understand that.
It's like the last line with Mark, right, to Lisa. You killed him. This is your fault. You manipulative bee. You tramp.
I wonder if he saw that and thought that was the greatest movie ever, and then he decided to make his own version of it.
I know, right?
And then I didn't understand, too, at the very beginning, the little kid said, "You can't leave the box empty. It's bad luck." I'm not afraid.
Yeah, what? And then they proceed to put stuff in the box, like.
That reminds me, Jordan, of that movie. Cameron, what's that movie you love with Johnny Darko?
Darko, yeah.
I'm
not afraid anymore.
I'm not afraid anymore.
That totally reminded me of that.
Anytime a little kid says that to the camera, I'm not afraid, makes me think of that fear, love, hate, that Patrick Swayze video. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so good.
And then after the girl comes over and she like that young girl, like it's just that whole scene where she's over at their house, so uncomfortable. Anyways, he tells her never come over unless she calls first. Like if she calls, it's like okay now. I don't know. I just thought that line was so weird. Like she should not have been over there in the first place.
No.
But apparently everybody is in love with Neil Breen. He is like the hottest item on the planet.
Yeah.
Clearly.
It's just so laughable. Well, would you guys recommend this film? For me, it's a hard pass. No.
I mean, you have
go
to
on YouTube and just watch up like worst or highlights of this film.
Yeah, if someone wants to watch like to ever like know what possibly the worst film of all time is to like appreciate other film, just watch this, dude. Because I rewatched our Harry Potter parody videos on YouTube. Dude, those are better like cut and edited than this fetching bullshit that he did. Our quick cuts are like of me trying to go through like the wall at platform 9 3/4. We had it better cut than fetching like his animal to the scene, and I was 8 years old, man. Like holy shiz.
I just feel like there's better, worse movies. Like I love The Room, and I think if you want to watch a movie that's so bad it's good, I mean, start with Trolls 2 maybe, and then if you're like obsessed with really bad movies, then maybe.
Guys, let's go backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
I quote that all the time with my wife.
Oh, that's the best line ever, dude. Every time I hear you say that, because I re-listened to that part on the pod, I laugh so hard. I love that part.
That kid's voice, dude. I must do this. Proceeds to pull out his piece all over dinner.
Dude, I forgot to quote, and maybe we talked about this, the guy that caught on fire, but right before he lights that guy on fire, he looks down, and his grandpa, before he disappears, and he goes, "Grandpa, are you in hell?" Like, there was never a better line in the movie ever. So I think you should watch, if you want to watch a good bad movie, I say do Trolls 2 first. Yeah. And then The Room. Because The Room reminds me so much of this movie, but I think The Room is better because it's like a $6 million budget to... I don't know how much this guy did.
What's next for the worst movie, Jordan? Are we doing a Cool Cat and what's his face?
Oh, jeez, no, never.
The Cool Cat videos. Hey, kids, This cool cat. Look both ways before you cross the street. Proceeds to bolt across the street without looking both ways.
We might have to do Sharknado. I know you want to do that ridiculous movie.
Oh, that's funny. We could watch either 1 or 2. Maybe even 3. No, what is it? The Fourth Awakens? I can't remember the shark. I can't remember. I just like the first one, honestly.
We'll just do the first. Maybe bring on Dad or something.
For sure, yeah. We'll get a real shark wrangler.
Were there any quotes or anything we missed from this movie before we...
Oh, gosh.
One of my favorite things, what's called after watching, I looked up Rotten Tomatoes, the quotes, and it says there are no quotes for Fateful Findings. It said no quotes approved yet for Fateful Findings. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
what score did this movie get, Cameron?
What score did it get? Let me check.
Yeah, it was like a 4, wasn't it, Cameron? You're like, whoever is giving this above a 1 should not be rating movies
So,
on IMDb.
On IMDb, it's got 4.7.
It's got a 4.7, yeah. And I said anyone who rated this above a 1 should not be allowed to rate movies anymore.
Well, and it's a hard thing too because like there is an audience for movies that are so bad that they're good. Like I don't know how to rate a movie like that because based on its merits. Like I kind of go off of what Roger Ebert would always say. He's like a movie critic that says, what was the movie's intention? That's what I rate a movie by, right? So like maybe this one was to entertain. I guess it entertained, but that's like all movies. So it's like, was it meant to elicit a response? Yeah, what was its goal?
The audience score was 46%, but for the critics it says no consensus yet.
Because it broke the scales. It's either so bad it's good, or it's just so bad it's a negative.
Well, I've watched some of his other movies, and this is definitely his best one. Double Down only has that one good scene, Cameron, that I showed you already, where his girlfriend gets shot, and then he like yells, "Ah!" Like that is amazing. You have to watch that scene. But Fateful Findings is his best one because it's more dramatic than the rest of them. I mean, there's drama in the rest, but this one I feel like has more drama between characters, whereas the other ones are more like, I don't know, more, I guess, thought-provoking or something. But just the last question I had about this movie is, do you guys have any explanation for the spirits or any, like the person walking through his house in the middle of the night that's moving stuff and making things shake?
Yeah, what? They never did it. They never addressed that as long as I was watching.
Was this the one with the baby heads? Like I don't even remember if this was this one or the other one. Is this one had the baby heads in it in the desert?
No, this one just has everything's moving, and then he's like, "Should I be afraid?" And the guy keeps
because what was the other one I watched? What was the other one called? The other one with the baby
Double
heads.
Down, and then I Am Here Now, and then he's got another one called Twisted Pair. Pass Through.
I can't distinguish any of these movies from each other. Like they all are the same thing. Like there's nothing that sets them apart.
But Ty, in Twisted Pair's newest film, he's wearing a beard.
maybe then I'd be able to tell them apart. Oh my gosh, I get a sick feeling.
Oh, and in Twisted Pair, there's 2 of him. He clones himself because you didn't get enough with 1.
There's 2 Neil Breens.
You got more Neil Breen.
Now he can credit himself in more credits. Oh gosh. Well, guys, this has been a delight. Any last final thoughts you wanted to say about Fateful Findings?
Neil Breen's a genius.
Neil Breen, madman.
He's something.
Genius.
He's something. Definitely not genius.
He's something. Dude, I think the guy's.
I'm hacking into the government, guys.
I'm hacking into the government right now. Listen. That's the sound of
That's
me
all
just
it takes.
cracking the government. I just figured out all their secrets.
If you thought old,
national
if you thought
and
old
international.
80 films were cheesy when they would be hacking into the government, just watch this and you'll think that it's actually hacking into the government.
If I see another laptop that has coffee poured on it, I can't. Those poor laptops. There were many laptops harmed in the making of this film.
He got his money's worth, Ty.
Yeah, he chewed the scenery out that one. All right. Leave your reviews, futromovies@gmail.com, futromovies@gmail.com to write us an email or a question, movie that you'd like
With
us
the
to
last thing
review.
I have to ask is, do you guys have any idea of that lady that disappears? The one he's been talking to the whole time? She just disappeared.
Never is explained. I don't know. I'm more confused than watching Lost, like season 3 Lost. Like, it's so gone. It does not make sense. So I just want to say goodbye to our favorite computer scientist novelist.
I can't believe you committed suicide, Ty.
I cannot believe we reviewed this movie on the podcast. I cannot believe we reviewed this movie on the podcast. How could we have done this? Leave us a review. And leave us 5-star review, and write in emails, futuromovies@gmail.com. Everybody, peace.
Sheer Breen.
Peace.
Bye.
Yes.